How should I, 24M, proceed after my friend, 23F, and I spent the night together? This is going to be long, so my old coworker and I started hanging out again a few months ago. First as a group, then one-on-one at my place. One day after a group hangout where she drank a little, she asked to stay the night at my place where we cuddled and kissed but didn't have sex. She seemed anxious about it afterward, first saying because she was seeing someone for a few weeks that I was never aware of, then if I had gossiped about it to our friends. Now things are back to the way they were before that night, and we still hang out one-on-one a few times a week. I'm open to being more than friends with her, but I don't want to hurt the friendship if that's what she's worried about. What do you guys think I should do? So to give some background, back in October, an old coworker of mine and I decided to catch up at our mutual friend's, her best friend's, birthday party. The party ended, but she suggested we stay later, just to catch up since we used to work together. It went well, and we went our separate ways. We ended up having the same friend group from that party and started hanging out together as a group for a bit, and that slowly turned into hanging out one-on-one. Usually the group hangouts would be at a bar or her best friend's house. Most people were drinking, including my friend in question. These nights, and I would often drive her home since I wasn't drinking. When hanging out one-on-one, we never drank due to me not having alcohol, but the hangouts were always in my room in my apartment. She showed interest in trying video games, so I'm showing her the ropes. Due to my apartment size, this often involves us using my bed as a makeshift couch and sharing a blanket. She's made jokes about getting tired and falling asleep in that bed, but I always assumed she was joking around. Come last week, we had a group hangout at her best friend's place for a few hours where she was drinking again. She drank a few ciders along with the others, and I abstained as usual to drive her there and home. Eventually she says she's getting tired and is ready to leave. But on the way back she says she's actually not tired and asks if we can go back to my place for more games. I say sure, and we arrived at my place. She drinks a whole water bottle and a Gatorade bottle, and we continue as usual. This time, though, she seems to be making an active effort to be close to me. Mainly this time, she is resting her head against my shoulder while we play. After an hour or so, she says she's actually tired now, but asks if she can spend the night. I say sure, at this point assuming she wants to be more than friends. After hanging out a bit, I felt like I was getting some hints, but didn't want to push anything, but this seemed like the go-ahead. I asked her if she was okay with cuddling, and she said yes, and removed her pants because it's uncomfortable to sleep in jeans. She got more into the cuddling, climbing on top of me, grabbing my hand and placing it on her breast while I hold her, making sure she can hold my other hand, etc. During all this, I start to kiss her, and she kisses back, and we eventually sleep the night away. No sex because I didn't want to do that immediately and didn't push for it. The next day we woke up, and she got dressed so I could bring her back to her apartment so she could get ready for some other plans she had for the day, visiting family. I texted her later that day if she was down for hanging out with her best friend, and I a little later that week, but this time she was apprehensive, stating she felt bad about sleeping over that night. I asked why does she feel bad, and she said she had been seeing someone for a few weeks and shouldn't have crashed at my place. This is all news to me, as I've never even heard of her seeing someone else, so I tell her I'm sorry for being forward that night, and I would never have done it if I knew she was seeing someone. She tells me it's not my fault and I have nothing to apologize for, but she wants a little space, but that she's down for a group hangout later in the week. The next day she calls me and asks if I'm alone when talking on this call. She said she knows I'm not the type of guy to gossip, but she said it would make her feel better if I confirmed with her that I never told the rest of our friend group that she stayed the night. I confirmed I hadn't and apologized again since she said she was seeing someone. She responded by saying she wasn't even sure where she stands with the other person, got the vibe they haven't actually talked much recently, and not to worry about that. She said she was buzzed that night, and reiterates what happened wasn't my fault. I didn't even realize as she seemed normal, and I have seen her tipsy and full-on drunk before. She asked if I was okay too and how my day was too, and that she would like to hang out again like I asked prior. So we hang out again, doing gaming while her best friend is on the mic gaming with us. We were trying a new game, so when she came over she brought over her textbook in case she didn't like it, but it was just us gaming in my apartment like usual again when her friend got off. She stayed a bit later, and I drove her home that night. On the way back she said she was thankful that she can be open with me and that she trusts me while she gets anxious about other things. I asked her if she was anxious about what happened. She said not after we talked on the call, And I asked why she wanted to sleep over that night when she knew I was fine driving her home. She said that she was tired and doesn't like being alone. She also said sorry if she had confused me. I didn't push more past this. It's been a few days since that night she stayed over, and it's back to how it was before. She still likes coming over one-on-one for games, and likes trying new games, and we talk the same as we did before. Now though I can't tell if she likes me and is worried about how this could change our friend group dynamic, or if she was just comfortable and a bit buzzed and did something with no feelings involved.